So ordinary person, but this particular guy, he's got a PhD. We also can notice, if we go to the next person that you may remember from the show, her name is Joy NG. Okay, here you go. We can find her here, Joy NG. She's an earth science multimedia producer, computer media specialist. Here's her contact info. Here's her email, personal URL. And here's her research interests, and her biography says Joy NG is a multimedia producer within the Earth Science Multimedia team. She is an MSc in Science Media Production from Imperial College London. Has a background in biology. She has worked in productions with National Geographic, the Royal Institution, and the Good Old Royal Society. So if we move forward a little bit here, we will see that here's an article with her talking to Goddard, and you'll notice that she is an employee of Goddard. And if you don't know what Goddard is, it is a NASA offshoot. It is a NASA, she's a NASA employee. So number one, we've got Stephen Hawking promoting this idea of genius, and he's going to get regular people, everyday people, to tell us where we live or help figure out where we live.
It worked. I'm not a scientist.
It worked. I'm not a scientist.
And to be able to just do that off a whim, and it just came to me, that was incredible.
That was incredible, right, because she's not a scientist. You know, that's what she's gone on to tell us. So then somebody needs to explain this particular video, which we will find here shortly. Okay, this is just a YouTube video. It's called In the Know with Kat Bobineau, her television reel, published on March 14th, 2016. That is before the video came out. So before the video we just saw with her saying, I'm not a scientist, this is the video that we have to go off of. Let's let you watch this one. And pay no attention to the text at the beginning or it kind of gives away the secret, but let's go ahead.
My name is Kat Bobineau, and I am a scientist.
If the globe is true, then you don't need to lie to tell us how true the globe is. You don't need a liar to pretend like she's not a scientist and that she really is a scientist. You don't need to hire somebody from Goddard who makes videos and science story tells. You don't need a PhD. You just need ordinary people to tell the truth of the Earth being a globe. What do we need liars for? So they're just, okay, well, they're just assuming, I guess, that this laser's level. They didn't, look at that. Look at that dot. Is that 2 feet, 7 inches from the water level? I don't think so. But how would we know? They don't even measure it. They just go on this little paper, measure a dot. And what's even worse is when they start to pull away here. So see where that dot is? And then she says, okay, now I need you to go out even further. You'll see here shortly. But you'll notice there is no doors on this helicopter. She's actually scared and saying, I didn't know there'd be no doors on here. She's kind of nervous. We got no doors. Whoops, but there's doors. So I thought, why are they taking off with doors when now there's no doors.
All right, notice those birds flying across there? Now let's just inch ahead right there. We got 3 birds, and the helicopter just went below the water line. And let's just take a screen capture right here. Let's see, right about here. Okay. And resume.
As it lands, it completely disappears from my line of sight.
Joe, are you still airborne?
Yeah. Can you see us landing?
The reports from the helicopter, they're still flying. But I can't see it. To wrap your head around it in that short a time was a little difficult for me. I was like, this is crazy.
We have landed in our position.
Okay, Joey, go ahead and lift off.
They plan to ascend until Tim can see them on the horizon. Then they'll tell him their altitude.
Let me know when you can see us on spot of the horizon.
They're about to come up over the horizon there. And here we see some birds. Let's just inch forward a couple back 1 frame there. See that? Now let's take another screen capture. Right about here. Right about there. Okay, resume.
I got him. Okay, what's your elevation right now?
Alright, Brian, how many feet are we above the lake?
24 feet.
Woo! We made it!
Okay, so if we take and bring in the two images, the two still images I took out of the PBS special there. Bring them in here. And we take and tint one of them. This is the two images I brought in. One had a helicopter and one didn't. We were watching the helicopter go below the water line there in this sequence. And in both sequences we saw these birds flying by. So I tinted this one green so they're a little bit different, and I'll take and overlay this one on that one. And then we play with the opacity a bit. You see what's going on here? You've got the three birds and you've got the same features in the water at that moment in time. Okay? The only thing changing is the helicopter. How could that be?
That field elevation is calibrated so that your altimeter is absolutely correct. So what we then know about that is that if the helicopter did everything right the way that he should have, well, then he should have set his altimeter to the proper barometric pressure to give him the correct elevation of the ground, all right? So what are we seeing here? Well, remember, a little while ago, we just said that the Pyramid Lake altitude is 3,796 feet. So what are we seeing here? If we look at this altimeter very closely here, we are seeing that it is showing about 4,100 feet. We got the little hand on the 4 and the big hand on the 1, and that is 4,100 feet. Now, they just said, the pilot just declared willy-nilly, how high above you are you, Mr. Pilot? He just said that he was 24 feet above the ground. Well, if we add 24 feet to 3,796 feet, that gives us an elevation of 3,820 feet. Well, do you see a problem here? We're showing, it should be 3,820 feet, and it's showing 4,100 feet. That is nearly a 300-foot discrepancy, ladies and gentlemen.